And what you have done is absolutely taken the film from there to there in that one scene. और जब मैंने ये बात उनसे कही, your eyes welled up. You had tears in your eyes. That day, I again turned into an assistant and I just watched him. And I said, he has tears in his eyes. Because he did one chota sa scene tha ek. And for that, he had put in so much that he had tears in his eyes. And I went to Sid and I said this. Yeah, Sid, he still got tears. To have that kind of, I hope to God that I can maintain that kind of power in me.
अगर आप सिर्फ 10-12 साल काम करना चाहते हैं तो वो अलग प्रोसेस है. अगर आप 50 साल काम करना चाहते हैं या मरते दम तक काम करना चाहते हैं तो आपको ऋतिक रोशन बनना पड़ेगा.
Also, in my view, they are not the same at all. Because in Top Gun, he's a rebel without a cause. That's just his character. Patty, his arrogance is a force field.
I think I would call it more nationalistic than jingoistic, this film. And obviously there are certain things that are being viewed out of context, and I'm at the cost of being repetitive, I would say that watch the film and you'll understand it.
Well, I think Deepika is very right when she says that कि आप ऋतिक के दिमाग में घुसना चाहते हैं. आप कि यार ये नॉर्मल है, ये इतनी मेहनत कैसे करता है, ये अपने किरदार के लिए, अपने कैरेक्टर के लिए, अपनी फिल्म के लिए, जितनी भी फिल्में की हैं, कौन एक, एंड मैं इतना भी कह सकता हूँ कि I've been very fortunate that I've worked with the best in the world, and for me to say that I would rate him with all the phenomenal actors I've worked with, and sincere, honest, and an actor to the core. Hrithik abhi keh raha tha कि I just love acting, I just love, and I want to use my stardom, which Deepika also said very beautifully. But longevity उसी में है. अगर आप सिर्फ 10-12 साल काम करना चाहते हैं तो वो अलग प्रोसेस है. अगर आप 50 साल काम करना चाहते हैं या मरते दम तक काम करना चाहते हैं तो आपको ऋतिक रोशन बनना पड़ेगा. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैंने बहुत सारे कोस्टार्स के साथ काम किया, बट इतना जेनरस, इतना गिविंग, इतना ऑनेस्ट मेरे करियर में कोई नहीं आज तक.
थैंक यू. थैंक यू.
और जैसे ही कहा कि एयरफोर्स के बारे में और आर्म फोर्सेस के बारे में, नेशन के बारे में, पेट्रियोटिज्म के बारे में, तो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी 10 गुना ज़्यादा हो जाती है. तो आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इतनी होती है कि फिर ये सब वक्त नहीं मिलता है बात करने का, बिकॉज आप चाहते हैं कि यार ये वक्त मिला है तो लेट्स डू आवर बेस्ट. तो जितना वक्त हम लोग वहाँ भी जब तेजपुर में तो जितने भी ऑफिसेस थे या प्रेप थे या फैमिली के साथ गुजार रहे थे, तो ज़्यादा वक्त हमको मिला नहीं बात करने का. तो पार्ट टू होपफुली बाय द ग्रेस ऑफ गॉड, ऊपर वाला चाहे तो ज़रूर.
बिल्कुल.
फाइटर के सेट पे हम लोग सीन कर रहे थे इन द कॉरिडोर, एंड आई हैड जस्ट सीन अ फ्यू सीन्स ऑफ द फिल्म एंड आई वाज ऑन सेट with you, and when you tell somebody, when you compliment somebody about how well they've done in a scene, the common reaction is, oh, thank you so much, that's great, I'm so happy, thank you. But when you win a gold medal at the Olympics, or when you win the Wimbledon, something that you have put your entire life and soul and every cell of yourself has gone into something, and then when you get a compliment, there you feel overwhelmed and you have tears in your eyes. So back to the corridor, I had just seen a few scenes and I came to you and I told you that एक scene है film में which was written on paper as a very aggressive scene. It was full of aggression and anger. And then I saw what you did. And I told you, you have interpreted this scene in an entirely different emotional way. And what you have done is absolutely taken the film from there to there in that one scene. और जब मैंने ये बात उनसे कही, your eyes welled up. You had tears in your eyes. And I was just watching you aghast. Like, my God, this man must have put so much of himself into that one scene that when he's getting to hear that he did well, he had tears in his eyes. This is after 4 decades of doing what he does. Still to have the power to give that much into a scene. That day, I again turned into an assistant and I just watched him. And I said, he has tears in his eyes. Because he did one chota sa scene tha ek. And for that, he had put in so much that he had tears in his eyes. And I went to Sid and I said this, yeah, Sid,
He still got tears.
to have that kind of, I hope to God that I can maintain that kind of power in me to be able to give that much of me like you have. Amazing. He still has tears in his eyes.
But I think every actor of our generation aspires to be you in the way that you just,
Really.
your
Yeah.
commitment and just the way you are every single day. Everyone sees it and everyone aspires to be like that.
Acting schools should have a symbol of you. You should make a symbol.
But that is true. Really.
लगा देना चाहिए ऐसा banner. Symbolic.
Honestly, like I said, the kind of timing that we had in Pathan, we were coming out, even if it wasn't that timing, there is nobody, I think I can speak for all filmmakers in this country, nobody, when he's making the film, obviously expects it or wants it, but कभी कोई सोच नहीं सकता कि हम वो success attain करेंगे या वो figures attain करेंगे. Nobody can plan for it, you can dream, but there's no planning that can go into it and you can achieve it. So it's a lot of luck, it's a lot of love, a lot of effort obviously. We were all taken by surprise. Everyone. I don't think there's anybody in that team of Pathan that expected that. And we all hope कि थोड़ा प्यार मिले हमें और हम एक सॉफ्ट एंट्री वापस हिंदी फिल्मों की ला सकें into the hearts of the audience. एक सॉफ्ट एंट्री. And उन्होंने तो दिल ही खोल दिया अपना पूरा हमारे लिए. And that is just the love of the audience and we didn't expect it and I think we take the opportunity to thank the audience for that. And now we are at the cusp of something very, very special again. And we're just hoping, not for the numbers, we're just hoping प्यार मिले, recognition मिले. हमने देश की पिक्चर बनाई है, देसी पिक्चर बनाई है एक, बहुत rooted पिक्चर है ये. Yes, बहुत stylized है, but actually बहुत देसी पिक्चर है ये, एक हिंदी पिक्चर है ये. And it speaks to the lowest common denominator. And everybody, from families to the youth to the masses to the elitists, there'll be something for everybody in this film. And we're just hoping for love. Numbers will follow.
Numbers will follow, Ritika?
Yeah, I mean, like I said this earlier, I feel like nobody makes, I don't know, I just feel like, I know people do, but when you make movies for the box office and when you work in reverse, you're just not being true to the process, and I think that always shows eventually. And in the work that we've done before, I know that has never been the intention. The intention is to tell a beautiful story that the audience is going to connect with, that's going to have a positive impact. And you're going to have a great time while making the movie because the process is as important as the result in itself. And I think what makes Fighter even more special is this is our tribute and our thank you to every single fighter out there who puts their life at risk every single day so that we are safe.
True.
And so this is our thank you to them. You don't know the show White Lotus? He's been very busy.
I live under a rock, apparently.
It's a great show, you must catch.
Thanks for exposing me.
Fingers crossed, yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
White Lotus 3? तूने बताया नहीं मेरे को? I would say thank you for the comparison and I take it as a compliment when a film that we make here in our country which is made on a fraction of a budget that they can primarily because obviously we make it in one language which is just relegated to one country. They make it in English, which can be exploited worldwide. So they have obviously access to great budgets. We make it really at a fraction of a budget, and yet if you're saying we're comparing it to that in terms of its look, I'm very happy. Secondly, when you say trailer देख के आपको लगा, I don't think वो right analogy है, क्योंकि trailer देख के आपको पता चल गया होगा it has nothing to do with Top Gun, except for the fact कि उसमें भी aircrafts हैं, यहाँ पे भी aircrafts हैं. वैसे तो वॉर एंड पठान भी सेम है, उसमें भी कार चेस बाइक चेस सब सेम था, वो स्पाई था, वो सेम लगेगा आपको. बट the similarity ends at those planes. Like I said, ये एक हिंदी पिक्चर है, और as we all know now by the trailer, it is inspired by a true incident that happened in 2019 with our armed forces, and that is an incident that obviously I'm sure has angered all of you all as much as it did to us, and it was a trigger for us to make a film and talk about the might and the stand that our country took, and the might of the forces and what they did and retaliated with. It's somewhere loosely based on that, obviously, and I think if anyone has seen Top Gun knows that was nothing to do with Top Gun. So the similarity ends there, and as far as the character goes of being a rebel or Shamsher Pathania being that, Shamsher Pathania is a character that I think is a very brave decision by Hrithik to do, because it is something unlike he's ever done. He's never played a character like that who is so real. The cockiness is very real. It's not larger than life. Kabir or matter of the fact Rajveer from Bang Bang are so different, are so cinematically larger than life. Patty is someone who could be sitting amongst us, and I'm sure there are a lot of cocky people with how they are, not with us, but I'm sure with their friends they are. So yeah, so he's like one of you guys. He's a common man, but yet obviously what he does is so larger than life. He sits in a machine that's worth 8,000 crores and can fly at that speeds and risk his life every time he sits in that cockpit. That arrogance you will have if you did that, and that is what Patty has, and that is what I think any character, whether you are in an English film or in a Chinese film, you will have that cockiness or the arrogance because of the things that you ride on every day. You risk your life every day. When you take off, you don't know if you land. The mantra is within the forces when you went there is that the CEO that is played by Anil sir, he's a commanding officer, tells his boys, take off is an option, landing is mandatory. You have to land back, come back alive. So imagine what lives they live here. How can Patty not have that chip on his shoulder? And that is something that is similar with any pilot worldwide. So that's the only common link I would say.
Also, in my view, they are not the same at all. Because in Top Gun, he's a rebel without a cause. That's just his character. Patty, his arrogance is a force field. He doesn't allow people in because he's going through something. There is a backstory which you discover in the film. So actually he is not arrogant, he is not a rebel. He is protecting his inner feelings that he doesn't want to expose to people. And that is what ignites the scenes between Minnie, Patty.
I'm not saying that for a reason, that we want you to discover it.
Yeah,
but you've given a glimpse of it. Okay, yeah, that ends there.
नहीं बिल्कुल नहीं.
So basically I'll tell you, obviously I've read that, and I think my two bits in that is that like I said, it's based on a true incident, and we've also depicted what actually happened in the incident. So it's out there, in public domain, so there's nothing new we've done, and some things that you're talking about that may have offended them, I would just want them, forget anybody else, I would want them to see the film and see the context in which what has happened and what has been said, and then react. This is out of context. In the trailer you put lines. If I play out the whole film like a story to you, then why will you come to the theatre? So I will raise some questions and sparks so that to answer that you'll come into the theatre. That's what this has done. It has serviced exactly that motive, and I'm actually in a way happy it's done that, and it's made them on people inquisitive. So come to the theatre, it'll answer all your questions, you'll understand the context of it and the emotion behind it, and you'll be satisfied. Everyone will understand what we are saying. The primary thing I want to reiterate is that, and what has been said in the film, is that our war is not against a country, it's against terrorism. And that is what Fighter stands for. It's a fight against terrorism, not against a particular country. And that is emphasized throughout the film. So come and see it and you'll get it. I think I would call it more nationalistic than jingoistic, this film. And obviously there are certain things that are being viewed out of context, and I'm at the cost of being repetitive, I would say that watch the film and you'll understand it. And jingoism is something that, I mean, is somewhere a matter of perspective. I call it nationalistic. These lines, actually, when you see it in the context of the film, is being told to a terrorist that don't keep pushing us. Without revealing much, is like I say, I think you just watch the film. This can unnecessarily spur a lot more controversy, which I don't think this film's goal is. This film is a happy Indian film. It's a Bharat ki picture hai, and I would not want it to get any other kind of attention other than the fact that it's a patriotic film. So watch it with that context.